Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3's launch is right around the corner, but not everyone's excited about what we're seeing so far. We'll jump into the controversy.
And Destiny developer Bungie is the next studio to be hit by layoffs. What does this mean for the future of Destiny and the studio's next projects? We're going to talk about all this stuff and so much more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. You can find us on Fruit Lab, YouTube, podcast services, everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red, joined every week by Full Clip. What is up?
What's going on? Doing all right, survival time. It's a busy season.
Yeah, it's nice. We talked about it before. It's the leaves are changing, the temps are falling, and I'm feeling good about just sitting in my house all day playing video games. So it's nice because there's a lot of video games that have been coming out. So I've been really take advantage of that. I still have a ton of yard work and shit to do that I've been just really pushing to the side in order for me to play more games. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this past week, this is a first, I think, on the show, but I didn't play anything. I didn't...
Wow.
Nothing. I really don't know why. I've been keeping busy doing other stuff. Yeah,
like I said, I that's what I should be doing. But instead, I'm playing a lot of video games. So I could take over for where you
yes, left. Please compensate.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll tell you one thing that I'm not proud of. Now, I have been playing a little bit, but this is all my son's fault, and I just wanted to mention it because it's the thing that's been most played this week. Roblox, dude. It's happening in this house on the PlayStation.
Nice.
Yes. And I was not familiar with it prior to this, and it is it's such a weird thing. It's just people creating things to try to make money and addict kids. It's so strange. The games are so shallow. It's a lot of clickers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And tycoons where it's just okay, spend more money to get more of these weird little things that mean nothing. It's such a strange world, strange community, and everything in it costs Robux. I told my son.
Some are really shallow like that.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, and they're clearly just to get some Robux out of it. But there are some that are fleshed out and nice. There's a Wild West one, I think it might just be called Wild West. But, I mean, you're playing sort of like Red Dead Redemption, a very simplistic version of it. But It's pretty cool. Other stuff like that.
He plays the most garbage games. He just wants to play, the trash, where you have to, go upstairs. And,
an obby.
You have to... Yes, you have to pay to unlock more stairs. I'm like, dude, how is this fun? There's one that he actually likes. It's kind of like a battle royale where it's a natural disaster where you go in this building and then you don't know it's going to either be a tornado or a tsunami or something like that, and you got to survive. I like watching him play that, but yeah, man, it's weird. I've been playing I got a couple review copies for some games that we're going to talk about in our new releases. So I've been playing some of those Achilles Legends Untold and The Invincible. But we'll talk about those more when we talk about our new releases. And then, of course, Spider-Man 2. A lot of Spider-Man 2. So I've been playing a lot. So should we get into our new releases?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, this has been another big week of new releases. Nothing huge, no major AAA titles, but a lot of games that have been on my radar for quite some time. So we're just going to do one of those quick lightning rounds that we did a couple weeks ago where we just kind of run through all the notable ones. And one of the games that I played a little bit this week, Headbangers Rhythm Royale, came out on October 31st on PC, PS5, Xbox SX, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. It's everywhere. It's a battle royale rhythm game. It's on Game Pass right now. That's where I played it. I wouldn't have probably played it had it not been on Game Pass, but it's fun, man. Do you like rhythm games?
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah. So this is just like, you just score the highest in the rhythm-based games, and then you move on to the next thing. So I'm really good at rhythm games. So dude, I'm crushing these kids.
Yeah.
Crushing
Plus
them.
with like pigeons and stuff, kind of looks like Fall Guys.
Pigeons, yeah, and there's like a bunch of like things you can unlock. There's a battle pass and that sort of thing. It's got all that stuff. And then Jusant came out October 31st from PC, PS5, and Xbox S and X. This one it's on Game Pass. Another one that I looked to play. I downloaded it. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks awesome. This one, it's that climbing game where it's just, I don't know, it's not really even like a platformer. It's more like just I don't know, a climbing simulator. It's kind of like a walking simulator, but except you're climbing. And it looks great. I'm hearing that it's just a really fun, chill game, but it's not very ambitious. It doesn't, it's not out to change the world. It's just, you climb. And it's got a surprisingly good and emotional story.
And the mountain is supposed to be ever changing. I think you're collecting some tools to make it easier along the way. It's a metaphor for life.
Yes, you got it. This one's at an 82 on Metacritic, so surprisingly well for that little climbing sim. Achilles Legends Untold. This is one of the ones I got review copy for, so hopefully I'll have a full review coming out soon. This one, it's been out in like early access, and now it's out on PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. I was excited for this, just the way it looked. It's like, it plays like a Souls-like, but it looks like a Diablo. It's got that like top-down style, and I don't know. It's really mediocre. It doesn't set out to do anything great. It just kind of does everything well. It's the gameplay when it started. The first, now I'm only like 3 hours in, so I got a ways to go yet. But the first like couple hours was more. It was a slog, dude. It was just, you're hitting two buttons really for your thing, and then you're dodging and you're rolling, and you're trying to get more skills to like upgrade your skill tree, which the skill tree is a mess, by the way. But like I thought it would be more exciting. You got the story of Achilles, and like he dies and like comes back. That's what the story is. So he's getting powers and stuff like that, and you're fighting all these, mythical, larger than life things. And it's only meh. I gotta play more. I have read some reviews that said like, because I actually looked, I'm like, do I want to keep playing this? There's a lot of games out there, and a lot of them say that it does get better. You'll open up more skills, and it kind of fleshes out the gameplay. So
as zombie Achilles, do you like walk around dragging your leg behind you or something?
Exactly. Yeah, and you're just like, I want more brains. Next up, RoboCop Rogue City came out November 2nd on PC, PS5, and Xbox S and X. This is one I was looking forward to. I love RoboCop. I mean, who doesn't? What person, growing up in the 80s, like myself, my old ass self, doesn't like RoboCop? And this one, it's a first-person shooter. You play as RoboCop, and you just shoot the shit out of everybody. Everything I've read about this, it's a well-made first-person shooter. Unfortunately, it's pretty shallow and repetitive in the mechanics of the game. So,
yeah, I'd like to play this one. From the trailer, it looks really cool. RoboCop is a little bit before my time as more of a 90s kid than 80s kid.
Right.
But it looks really good. Like, it does appear on the surface like it's got close to AAA graphics, but maybe not quite there. And I could see it being kind of repetitive and shallow. But as you know, maybe like I could enjoy 10 hours of that, 15 hours of that.
That's exactly it, especially because they say that as, it's shallow and repetitive, but the mechanics of the game are very well done, and the fundamentals are there. So if the gameplay is good, like, yeah, I mean, there's games where I'll play 15 hours doing the exact same thing, but I'm having fun, So hopefully this will be one of those. And
I took a little peek earlier, and it was a 9 out of 10 on Steam, I'm pretty sure, but that could be like, based on 3 reviews or something.
Yeah. I think it's across the board the way so it's 71 on Metacritic, but I've seen some very high reviews saying like this is the RoboCop movie that we've been wanting to play, and it's like fun and exciting. And then the other ones that go the other way and say like it's just, you know. So I guess it's very much a matter of opinion on this one. It's not, which is good. You know, I'll go in there, I'll make my own opinion as long as it's not broken, which is a lot of the games. You know, you get a lot of negative scores when the games are buggy or broken. So another game I was excited to see on Game Pass, Thirsty Suitors, came out November 2nd for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, XS, and the Nintendo Switch. I had no idea what this game was until I saw it on the new releases list. And it's basically like this super stylish, like South Asian Scott Pilgrim story with skateboarding and cooking. Yeah. I think that sums it all up. But yeah, you play as this girl who's like gotta, like, you battle your exes in this weird like turn-based fighting type thing where you have to taunt them and stuff. And then on top of that, there's like these skateboarding scenes, and then there's baking scenes where you have to like impress your parents or something. I have no idea, but it looks super fun. And it's on Game Pass, so I'm gonna try it. And that's at 81. It's 81 on Metacritic. So it's reviewing well.
Very nice.
DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing. Not going to get into this too much.
Oh, this is the one I was waiting for.
Shrek. You can race
Finally,
around
Shrek's booger and shit car.
Yeah, this came out November 3rd. PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, XS, and Nintendo Switch. I like scoured the internet to find any reviews of this game. And 3 I found from like John Smith at you know, his mom's basement says like it sucks. And then I found one that was like, this is the kart racing game we've all been waiting for. But yeah, I don't know. It's a kart racer with all your favorites in there. Shrek. WarioWare Move It came out November 3rd on Nintendo Switch. You ever play any of the WarioWare games?
No.
Oh man, they're fun. So they're like micro games. They're not mini games. They're like, they take like 5 seconds. And it's just like, and all these are like motion controlled. And there's over like 200 micro games, and you play with friends, and it's supposed to just be like a crazy fun time when you're playing with other people. When you're playing the story, I guess it could be done in like 2 hours, and it's just kind of, it's not as fun and exciting. But you know, you get 3 other friends. If you've got 4 of those Joy-Cons or whatever, I've heard this is a blast. And then the other game, and the last game on our new releases list, this is the other one I got a review copy of. The Invincible came out November 6th on PC, PS5, and Xbox S and X. This is based on a book from the 60s by Stanislaw Lem, like a sci-fi, I don't know, it's just like this sci-fi story. And this game is the representation of that book. And it's like a 60s, like futuristic sci-fi world where like, you know, your robots look like robots and all your gadgets have lights that are like sticking out of them and stuff like that. Yeah. But you're trapped on this planet, Regis 3. And basically, I didn't know what it was going into this. I found out that it's more of, it's basically like a walking simulator. You know, you're walking from one place to the next to find out, you know, where your friends are. Or you got to find this thing to get off the planet. And it's a lot of walking, no gameplay, and it's very boring. So this one, I don't really recommend it. Unless you're huge into this, like if you've read this book and are like, man, I wonder what a representation of this would be either in movies or games, go for it. It seems very well in line with the story. Unfortunately, as a game, like there's very little gameplay there on a lot of walking.
Yeah, I really expected more like dialogue. I figured you'd be into this one if it did have more dialogue to it. But, yeah, that style is. It's pretty cool to see, like, the retrofuturism. Dude,
it's a beautiful looking game. And I was really hyped right from the start when I started looking at, like, all the aesthetics of it. And I was like, this is going to be great. But the first time when I got to walk from, like, point A to point B, and there's no There's no action. There's really the planet that you're on is very barren. It looks great for what it is, but it's not much to look at. And then, you get there and then you're like, okay, now walk to point C. And it's just, okay, I just got to walk more to get those little bits of dialogue or to progress the story a little bit further. And there's like, once you get to point C, you're like, okay, well, now maybe I'll do something. But, you don't do anything. You get a little bit more story and then you go to point D, and then it's just like you get there and it's a little bit more story. And it's like, it's too much, man. It's too much work for what little you do in the game. So it was unfortunate.
Need some puzzles or something thrown in there at the points or between the points.
It would have been so simple. Now there's like very simple puzzles, in fact, and not like, things you have to solve, but you're like, okay, I got to pull out, some piece of equipment to look at this and check this out. So it's like, that's the gameplay, but it's very, very shallow. And that is it for our giant week of strange new releases. There's a bunch of other stuff. Puzzles. Talos Principle 2 came out. One of the best puzzle games to come out in recent memory. It's a good year for puzzle games between that and Cocoon, and then Star Ocean, a good JRPG that came out. So yeah, lots of good stuff. But we've got to move this show along. Let's talk about our news of the week. All right, our top story this week, the next developer to be hit by layoffs, came as a surprise to me. Bungie had to lay off about 100 employees, and it was a surprise to me because they were just purchased by Sony, and and not just. It's been a while, so it wasn't like redundancies from like being purchased or taken over or whatever. This was like. Well, we found out what the reason was, and it was due to Destiny 2's most recent DLCs or add-ons or whatever they call them, not performing as well as they had hoped, which we keep hearing about. We keep hearing about like these studios having to lay people off because of their incredibly high expectations for games, and I don't get it, and Destiny 2, I don't believe the new DLCs have been like a flop. I don't know how many people are still playing Destiny 2 and what their line is for their success rate, are they expecting to get a ton of new players? Because to me, it's daunting, going into Destiny 2 because there's so much backstory and so much history and so many people that have played it from day one.
Yeah. That's the same with a lot of games like World of Warcraft. It's just when a game like that expands and expands and expands upon itself, you go in and you look and you've got like 16 different microcurrencies. You have no idea which of this armor is obsolete or which ones you should be working toward. I don't know what their expectations are going to be, but maybe it's time to be working on the next iteration of Destiny and scrap the board, start over.
Yeah. So a quote from Bungie. It says, "Today is a sad day at Bungie as we say goodbye to colleagues who have all made a significant impact on our studio. What these exceptional individuals have contributed to our games and Bungie culture has been enormous. It will continue to be a part of Bungie long into the future. These are truly talented people. If you have openings, I would highly recommend each and every one of them." And then in a blog post, they said, "This has been one of the most difficult weeks in our studio's history as we've parted ways with people we respect and admire. We've spent this week supporting one another, including those who are at the studio, as well as friends and colleagues who no longer are." The team acknowledged that it has lost a lot of its fans' trust, and noting that it recognizes the concerns and feedback players have shared regarding Destiny 2 and the mixed reception to the Lightfall expansion. They said, "Destiny needs to surprise and delight. We haven't done this enough, and that's going to change." They also did say that they have to delay their upcoming game. So Marathon is now coming out in 2025, and the next DLC, the final shape, the new DLC for Destiny 2 has been delayed to June of 2024. So, like you said, maybe they need to move on to a new IP or Destiny 3, but they're putting all their eggs, it seems, on this final shape DLC. They're pretty much, it's like a make or break moment for the company, which is pretty crazy. But they're just saying that that they need to make an unforgettable experience, is the quote. It says, "We are intensely focused on exceeding your expectations for the final shape. Destiny 2 has more than 650 dedicated teammates pouring all their energy and expertise in delivering this epic moment and its subsequent episodes." So, yeah, they're like really like, dude, we got to crush this last DLC. And again, if that bar is up here for like, you know, sales, the same as it was for the Lightfall expansion, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like they need to reevaluate what's going on. And then I read an article about Marathon that if they released it like it is today, people would not be playing it. They said it was that bad. It didn't, it wasn't good. So,
do we have a lot of details on what that game is supposed to be? Because the name sounds familiar, but it is hard to keep track with stuff that's out already.
Yeah, no, I don't really know. I know it's like a remake of an older title that they had. I don't really know much about it. I didn't really look into it too much. But, yeah.
Bungie's kind of a legendary studio, but it's getting to the point where, what have you done for me lately?
That's exactly it. And, like, Sony bought them to be their games as a service, like, leaders, to, like, kind of shape what the company is going to do around these games as a service titles going forward. And I don't know what this means for that. I know, like, people are getting really burnt out on these, these live service games as a service type games, and I don't know. Are we going to see a shift from that to something else, or just full speed ahead the way it was planned? But I remember when what was it? The Suicide Squad game came out. They had that like screenshot of like the thing, and it was like a games as a service style game, and people were like, losing their mind about it. No one wants that anymore. So
just one more game to try to take up all of your time. That's what they typically do. But I mean, games that rely on battle passes do the same thing, and it's not just that type of game that does it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But it's like, we're seeing the story games are really like shining lately. It seems like that's what people want more of. So we'll see. All right. Let's talk about our subscription services. PlayStation Plus announced their free games for November. Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, Dragon Ball The Breakers, and then Aliens Fireteam Elite. So now, Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, that's from 2020. It's at 72 on Metacritic. Dragon Ball The Breakers, that's a asymmetrical action game. There's like 7 survivors trying to survive against one raider. That's got a 53 on Metacritic. And then Aliens Fireteam Elite, it's like a 3-player survival shooter that has a 69 on Metacritic. Not the best month over here at PlayStation Plus.
Nah.
And like, let's compare and contrast, shall we?
Yes.
So we got the announcement for the first wave of November for Game Pass. We've talked about a few of these games already. Headbangers Rhythm Royale came out. Jasant came out. War Tales is an open world role playing game. This huge medieval universe. I've heard amazing things about people that are like really invested in this game. Said it's just like such a fun game that you could pour like hundreds of hours into. And then Thirsty Suitors, we talked about, that came out on November 2nd. That's a day one Game Pass game. Football Manager 2024, not our cup of tea. But again, day one Game Pass, November 6th. Dungeons 4. This is looks really cool. I could see you getting into this one. It's like a designing building game, but you're the bad guy and you have to build a dungeon to stop like these like good guys from coming in, and like it's about building and creating these traps and stuff like that. That comes out November 9th. That's a day one Game Pass game.
Yeah, I'll have to look more into that one.
Yeah. Like a Dragon, Gaiden, the Man Who Erased His Name, another day one game, comes out November 9th. Everybody, these are, the Like a Dragon series, previously the Yakuza series. Tons of fun, great RPGs with like just this one, the fighting system in it looks awesome. There's like this whole new like fighting agent style where you could just do these like crazy things. And then, the fun mini games that they always have in these. Wild Hearts comes November 9th. That's like a Monster Hunter. Yeah.
Or Dauntless. Looks like the one addition that they do to this is like they've added some sort of contraptions to it to help you fight the monsters. So it looks kind of cool.
Nice. Spirity, day one game comes out November 13th. This is kind of like, it looks like a Stardew Valley kind of game, but like it has these ghosts in it that you have to like either help or they're like your customers. And then Coral Island comes out November 14th. This is your basic farming simulator, Animal Crossing style, whatever. Yeah, dude. Now let's compare that to what we just talked about, PlayStation Plus. Three broke-ass games. And then Game Pass, it's just like, how many day one games? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games, brand new day one releases on Game Pass. Yeah. It's insane, man. Every time we do talk about the Game Pass games, we're always like, can they keep doing this? Can they, can this continue? When is it going to end where like they're going to offer us some doo-doo games? And it doesn't seem like that's happening anytime soon. So
no, we have had like one underwhelming little lineup where there was just nothing on there for us. Right. But I mean, that's one out of the past 2 years we've been talking about this.
Yes. I pray for those times, dude. I need a break.
Yeah. I guess to be completely fair, Sony does offer their core benefits for the PlayStation Plus members with all the movies and TV titles and stuff like that. But movies and TV titles are not what you bought the PlayStation for, not what you're paying for that service for. So it does sweeten the pot. It's not making up for like one good game, though.
Yeah. When the price was considerably lower, especially considerably less than Game Pass, I never would. I was not open to comparing these two because Game Pass, it's a much higher price. This is what you're getting. This is the Netflix of video games. PlayStation Plus free games were always just a bonus. Here's 3 games that you could play as a bonus to paying for the subscription to play online. But now that they raised the price where like these are included in there, and I'm just like, they're not comparing as well as they should. Some games leaving November 15th though to Game Pass: Coffee Talk, Exapunks, Ghost Song, Gungrave Gore, Football Manager 23, Lappin, and Townscaper. So go play those if you want to.
Are you going to be okay with Coffee Talk leaving?
So I tried Coffee Talk because it looked interesting. You play as a barista and like there's like these mythical creatures that come in, and I found myself being bored.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah, it was. I'm just not a good barista, I guess. All right, Xbox, they're crushing it in Game Pass, but one place where they're, maybe having a little bit of a more difficult time not crushing it is with their third-party controllers. So Xbox is starting to block third-party controllers from working with their system. It says from November 12th, 2023, Microsoft will no longer allow unauthorized third-party accessories to be used with its Xbox consoles. So players are reporting that when they plug in one of these third-party unauthorized accessories, they're getting a error notice that says, you can't use this, and then you'll have 2 weeks to return it. Basically, they're literally saying that. Go return this and buy one that is an authorized first-party thing. So interesting. This is a first. Never had this happen. Mad Cats, they're probably losing it. Do they still exist anymore?
I don't know about Mad Cats or Pelican. Those guys.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't know. Man, my biggest question is why now?
Yeah, it seems strange. I guess people are speculating that it's to curb cheating in a lot of these games, which makes sense. But yeah, it's strange. It's a strange move. A lot of people are concerned about accessibility with like third-party controllers that are for disabled people and stuff like that. But they did say that if you have the Xbox adaptive controller, you can use devices through that via 3.5 millimeter ports or the USB sockets on that adaptive controller. So as long as you have that, these third-party controllers will work. So I don't know.
That's really strange.
Yeah.
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 And I understand that it's also supposed to decimate like the fighting game scene. They all use custom fighting sticks and
right.
Almost looks like an arcade cabinet setup.
Exactly. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I wonder if you can use the adaptive controller and then plug in something to that to bypass that. I don't know. Because they did say there's no impact to players using Xbox Adaptive Controller and any peripherals plugged into it. This includes both licensed designed for Xbox devices listed on the accessories page, as well as those that currently connect with the Xbox Adaptive Controller. If you do not receive an error code, then your accessory will not be impacted. So, yeah, I don't know what that means. If there's specific controllers that will work or just anything. The way this reads, it's just anything that's plugged into that will bypass that error. So you can
as
see
long as
people
you pay the Xbox tax.
Exactly. And that's expensive. That adaptive controller is not cheap. So, we'll see if people that want to use their big fighting sticks or whatever, maybe they just got to plug it in through the adaptive controller. Another thing Xbox is doing that is annoying some people, they're adding. So today, my son, example, booted up the Xbox and had a little bit of a freak out when the whole first page is an ad for Modern Warfare 3, because he was like, it was not expected. And he was like, what is this? Where's Minecraft?
Yeah.
And you could just click away. Like he just, clicked off of it or whatever, and then it's gone. But I could tell I'm definitely raising a gamer because, he had a fit for something that as simple as, hitting a button and it's immediately gone.
Gamer's first death threat sent on Twitter today.
Exactly. So I get it. People are upset that they're getting, this is a product that they own, the Xbox, and they're getting ads for stuff that they don't want. And that's always a thing. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like it's not new. Just because it's a full screen thing, that's new. But anytime you open PlayStation or Xbox, you're seeing things that are advertised for you on the store or whatever. It's all connected. It's an ecosystem. Everything's connected.
I've always kind of hated that about it too. I don't know that much about the newer Xboxes, but I did have the PS4 and I ran it until probably this time last year. And they would always add tiles to your home screen. Yeah. And I'm just thinking leave my home screen alone. Let me do what I want to do with my home screen.
Yeah.
But they pick and choose what you can and cannot move around. And if it means making more money for them, it's usually going to be stuck right there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And I don't like that as much. This one, in fact, I found it to be the least obtrusive. It's a one-time thing. I think it's just a one-time thing. And it was really easy to get rid of. So... yeah. I get, you don't want to see it, you don't care, but, I don't know. There's other hills for me to die on regarding, Xbox and their practices, but speaking of Modern Warfare 3, have you been following, all this, all the talk surrounding the game, the campaign and such?
A little bit of it, and then I watched somebody do a preview of the first part of the campaign today, so I have a little bit of knowledge on that.
Nice. Well, first of all, so you can't even launch Modern Warfare 3 without first launching Modern Warfare 2, because this is the new Call of Duty HQ, they call it. And it's so stupid. I was reading it was on PC Gamer. So this is, I'm going to read the whole thing. They said, switching between Modern Warfare 2 and 3 from the HQ is not like switching modes. Once you're on the main menu, you could jump immediately into Warzone or a multiplayer match of Modern Warfare 2. Clicking the Modern Warfare 3 button, however, closes the HQ app and launches an entirely different executable called Modern Warfare 3. There's no option to just launch Modern Warfare 3 because Modern Warfare 3 is not its own game. It's buried literally inside Call of Duty headquarters as a piece of add-on content. Which is what we've been calling this from the start, that this is just a glorified DLC. And now, they seem to be proving it.
Yeah, and, I read in one of these articles that it's only an extra 90 seconds or something like that. But if it's anything like Modern Warfare 2, and it is the same damn game, so I'm sure it will be, I crashed a lot. I had a lot of freezes in the middle of matches. It was like every other match for a long time. If it's going to be like that, and I have to spend 90 seconds every time I do it, eventually I'm just not going to open the game back up.
Right. Yeah. No, I hear you, dude. It's like, and it's something that can be avoided. Like, it doesn't need to be this way. It's ridiculous that that's the way it is in the year 2023. And then on top of that, the campaign, people are reporting that the campaign is just over 3 hours long. Like, talk about DLC. Like, you're offering this campaign. So first of all the maps in Modern Warfare 3 are all remade from older existing maps, nothing new. And then the campaign, which we were saying, well, maybe people will buy it for the campaign because that's going to be new and fresh. 3 hours long, and it's poorly made. Like, the gameplay, the stealth mechanics, like all that stuff is like just really poorly done, which is crazy, dude. It's really proving that they're offering a $70 game that should have been $20 to $30 add-on, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what psychos are out there who only play the campaign in Call of Duty, but they're there, and I do feel for them in this situation.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, because that's what I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. I was like, you know, there are people that like this. It's a movie, you know? What's the sequel to this movie? And it's really shitty. So, it's unfortunate. And last up, BlizzCon 2023 was just this past weekend. It's the first BlizzCon since the Xbox acquisition took place. So a lot of people were excited to see what the announcements were going to be. Let's run through it real fast. Diablo 4, first expansion will be called Vessel of Hatred. There was a little bit of a trailer for that. And then they announced the next 3 expansions in World of Warcraft, the Wonder Soul Saga. I can't believe World of Warcraft is still going on, man. It's insane to me.
Right.
And that it makes as much money as it does. But, yeah, crazy. Good for them. And then World of Warcraft Classic is adding the Cataclysm expansion.
Freudian slip there.
World of Warcraft. It really is, man. Overwatch 2, they got a new hero coming out, Maga, the game's first Samoan hero. It's gonna
Does this dude look like so much like the Disney character that it's a little odd?
It really is, dude. Yeah. He's going to be a heavy assault character with heavy artillery weapons, like a chain gun. That's exciting. Hearthstone's next major expansion is Showdown in the Badlands. That's another one that surprises me that it's still going. Hearthstone. I was big into Hearthstone until it got to be really like a pay-to-win type situation, and then I was like, all right, I can't spend any more money. But that comes out November 14th. And then a Diablo tabletop RPG was announced. That sounds pretty cool. That comes out fall of 2024, and it's going to be on Kickstarter, so you could get it there if you're interested. Phil Spencer did show up at the BlizzCon surprise appearance there, and talking about just Blizzard in general, what he likes about it. Nothing like, he didn't come with any like, and we've got this major announcement, which everybody was watching this thinking like, okay, this is where they announce like all the Blizzard games that are going to be on Game Pass or something.
Oh, I was thinking, everybody look under your seats. It's StarCraft 3.
Exactly. But no, nothing like that happened. But they did announce big news. Warcraft Rumble got a launch date in cinematic. That is the new mobile World of Warcraft like fighting game, I guess. I don't know, dude. I didn't look.
Yeah.
That's I'm sorry, World of Warcraft fans. I should have done my job a little bit better. But yeah, so far, no major announcements coming out of BlizzCon. But for fans of those series, I'm sure everybody's pretty excited. All right, that's everything I've got on my notes. Is there anything else you want to chat about?
Yeah, we got just a moment here. Your views have been vindicated. 2023 is the greatest year in gaming in 20 years, as far as the reviews have
I knew it
shown. Yeah, that has been categorically proven by I read it on Axios, but I think this is taking all the scores from Metacritic and looking at the games that are above 90% or more, and this is a chart-topping year out of the past 20.
Dude, and it feels that, man. I feel like I just don't have enough time for these games, and then I start a game, and then I really enjoy it, but then I forget about it when I move to the next game. Like, I was just thinking today, I was like, man, I really want to play more Lives of P. I was enjoying that game so much, but then then another game came out, and I was like, shit. So there needs to be, next year, no games.
Right. Games are canceled.
Games are canceled for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I got a lot to do. But yeah, one of my friends just jumped into Cyberpunk, and he's like, dude, you gotta play Cyberpunk. I know you've been telling me the same thing for a while now too, and I'm like, I know, just stop it. It's giving me anxiety.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the other one I want to get into. But yeah, dude, crazy year in gaming. And then so Black Friday's coming up. I'm hoping to secure some of those games. Maybe they'll drop to $30-$40, like Armored Core, Lords of the Fallen I want. So yeah, we'll see. But too many games, dude.
Yeah.
Too many great games is the problem. There needs to be more shitty games. That's fine.
Oh, there are plenty of those too.
Plenty of those. It's true. And I do think I'm playing some of them. So maybe I just need to stop playing the shitty ones and just only play the good ones. Only play the hits. Just like Billy Joel.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's all I got. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of Gaming News Weekly. Feel free to go subscribe to our YouTube channels, Pop Culture Playground. You'll find this show there, as well as a bunch of other stuff that I'm putting out. GameFAQs, GMEFAX, is where you'll find full clip, playing a bunch of really obscure games. And then you can check us out on Fruit Lab. It's a great website where you could earn a cryptocurrency and buy things just from watching video game content, posting video game content. You can find us there. I'm Erock the Red. He's full clip over there. And then podcasts. If you want to listen to the audio version, you can check this podcast out anywhere podcasts are found. Just type in GNW in the search bar. You'll get this show. Subscribe to the show. Listen to every episode. And then write us and tell us how great you are. You can leave a review right on there too. It's pretty cool. And then we'll get more reviews and more glory. And then, everybody will rejoice before us. They'll give us lots of money. Babes, right? It's all about money and babes.
Oh, yeah.
And then go check out our TikTok and our Instagram. You'll find daily content, all the good stuff. Less money, less babes, but still cool. Anything else I left out?
I think you've definitely covered everything there is to cover.
Yes. All right. Thanks so much. We will see you next week with more Gaming News Weekly.